All right, for sure, man. Hey, what up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Vest the Vest. I'm back at it again. And today, man, I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Harrison. Yo,
I'm
how
humble,
you been?
man. I've been good, man. Humble, man. I'm honored, man. Thank you for having me.
Yo, man, it's been a minute, bro.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has, man. It's been many years, man. Even me walking in here brought back a lot of childhood memories, man. Just growing up here on the north.
It feels like forever, bro, since we actually had a sit down like this, man.
That's true. That's true. It's been a minute. We haven't talked. I've seen you doing your stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man, being busy, being active.
Sir.
So I'm glad that I've had the chance to be on this platform. So I'm definitely excited.
I like that, man. So today, man, yo, this is supposed to be like a laid-back conversation about your life, what you've been up to, you know, how high school experience was like, going to college, all that stuff. You feel me?
Okay.
So let's start off with migrating to the U.S., man.
Okay.
When did you guys actually migrate to the U.S.?
We migrated here in 2000, right before the World Trade Center happened.
Whoa.
So when we came, it was very tough for immigrants right after the World Trade Center, as you already know how the immigration system was. So I came in with my family.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying, we were supposed to move to New York, but my family assumed that I would turn into a gangster if I go to New York. So there's a place called Ohio, and we had never heard of Ohio until we came here, and then we moved over here in Columbus, and we've been here 23 years now, man.
Man, oh man.
Straight from Italy, man.
Straight from Italy, yo.
Hey, Italiano.
Yo, I never even knew. So were you born in Italy or were you born in Ghana then, you know?
I was born in Italy. So I was born in Italy, and then I got sent to Ghana for a little bit, and then right when I went to Ghana, then I got sent back to Italy, and then I came back. So I've all my life growing up, I've had an experience of Italy, Ghana, and America. So
I see,
I've
man.
never
Sounds
been
like
out one
you've been
place.
all over the place, man. Yo, it's surprising to me that you still speak Italian.
Sì, parlo italiano.
Yeah, man, I've heard you and Andy, you know, at events speaking Italian. I'm like, man, we lived there too, man, but like, I don't remember Jack.
Now theirs, you know what? Andy and them speak it way more better. They still remember the slangs and everything like that.
Yeah.
Me here and there, and the reason why they're able to still speak it because Andy and Steven were living together, so they still spoke it with each other. We didn't have nobody to really speak it with, so it was like it went away slowly. But I'm still able to manage here and there. Hai capito? Tutto bene?
Yeah, man, I still remember that, man. And all the curse words, man. You feel me? Fanculo, all that.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, man. Bro, so you came to the U.S., you know, with your family. You guys, I guess, settled in Ohio, right? So how old were you at that time?
Oh, I was, I think I was 11, 12. 11, 12. So when I came, I was in the 6th grade. So I started middle school at Wool Park. You know what I'm saying,
man? Look at this.
Yeah, man, Wool Park Middle School. Didn't know how to speak English or nothing like that. Just Italian and Tree. And coming in, of course, as an immigrant, you're seeking to fit in and for comfort. So the people that you look for is the people in your community, which happen to be the Ghanaian community.
Yes, sir.
And we had a few Italians that were here too, so that also helped out with creating friendships and bonds. So yeah, man. So it was a rough start, but you know what I'm saying, sometimes you got to go through it to be where we at now.
You pulled through, man. You pulled through. So did you guys know? Did you know Andy and you know, before you came to the States, or was that bond?
Nah, Andy and them, that's family, that's blood cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were in Italy way before, even in Ghana. So me and Andy, we used to be in Nkwabe. Even we used to play soccer together and all of that back in those days. So I'm related through Andy through my mom's side. So my mom and Andy's dad.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where the relation. So when we came, a lot of, you notice when some of the Italians went first, and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of Italians.
There was an influx of Italians.
A whole bunch of influx coming in from the ones we play soccer with and all of that.
Yes, sir. Well, let's skip, you know, middle school. Let's jump right to high school, man. Right. I know you went to Northland High School, man, and by the time I got to Northland High School, you were like the prom king. I mean, this guy, bro, you basically had Northland at the palm of your hand. So have you always been that charismatic? You know, because I feel like you have a certain kind of energy about you, man. You bring charisma, you know, like the kind of Obama type of guy. You feel me? Like
I'm
you
humble.
Bring people together, man. Every time I see you, man, you're at it, either putting together an event or something related to, you know, dealing with people. You feel me? Has that always been cultivated in your family? I mean, how did that come about?
Oh, I'll say that came about from having to move to different cities and having to make different friendships and different things in different ways, where it's like, if you go to a new place and you're quiet, you're not gonna be able to make friends. So knowing that I'm a new person, I have to make friends. And once I learned how to speak English, it was like, all right, man, let me utilize this. And I've always been, I like enjoying myself. I like to laugh.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so I always try to, when I'm around people, I want everybody in the room to have a good time or have an impact. But one thing that I always say to myself is, you could say a lot of things and people will forget what you said, but they're not going to forget how you made them feel. So I try to always make people feel as good, as much as they can in a good, positive way. So that's how it all happened with high school and stuff like that. So yeah, it was fun being the first African homecoming king and all of that like that.
Yes, sir.
Was not expecting like that, but it was fun. It was all part of the journey. But like our parents said, you ain't getting paid from that.
And then in addition to that, you know, being prom king and, you know, doing this and that, I know you also played soccer, right? You were the varsity captain.
Yes.
Back then. And if my recollection is right, you guys actually won the states one of those years.
We won. We didn't get to the states. We won the cities three years out of the 4 years I was there.
Oh my goodness, 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years out of the 4 times that I was there. The only time we didn't win it, we lost against Brookhaven. And they made it to the finals on the north side. And I'm saying they beat us 2-1 and they were able to qualify. But if we would have beat them, we would have been going to the finals and we would have definitely won. But that was the year Brookhaven beat us. But yeah, soccer, because of the Italian background that we had. So once I came in, a lot of people assumed and thought that I should have been playing basketball. Because as you know, we had Jared Salinger and Trey Burke at that time during high school. I did try out for the basketball team. And of course, as a tall person, all I was doing was grabbing rebounds and blocking. And the coaches really enjoyed the athleticism that I had, basically. But soccer was what, you know what I'm saying, man, we've been playing soccer as friends, even you and I and other people. So that's what happened now, man. I'm sorry the dream was to be in the World Cup and everything. You know, every soccer player got that dream. But one thing that I learned in high school at that time was we didn't have the right management to prepare us to get into the right colleges. That's why we couldn't really perceive or keep going in the soccer career that we had. So it just stopped at high school for me, man, and that's a heartbreak.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man. But I mean, 3 cities, I mean, that's an accomplishment, yo. Yeah, man. Shoot,
I might still be holding the most scoring goals in 4 years.
Are you serious?
At Northland, yeah, man. I mean, from my freshman year, because I was varsity captain as a freshman.
Oh, get the heck out of here, man.
As a freshman, then we won the championship the first year. So coming out when I was at Wool Park, the high school coach came to recruit me there because we had won the Wool Park championship.
Yes, sir.
My 7th grade year and 8th grade. We were playing schools against Medina, Clinton.
Yes, sir.
You know, Clinton's not there no more. Mifflin and stuff like that. So my freshman year at Northland High School, as a freshman, I was a varsity captain.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So even sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, man, like, what was I saying for them to trust me and vote me captain? So sometimes I'm like, has it been a little leadership thing that I've had, or was it because I was good with my skills? I was trying to think about it, because as a freshman, you're not supposed to be no varsity captain as a freshman, man.
I mean, like, you'd be lucky to even
make it to the varsity team.
Yeah, but to be a captain.
I was captain of the varsity team as a freshman, man.
Yo, that's actually the first time I'm hearing this, man. Did
that
rub people the wrong way? I mean, for you to just come about and then be varsity.
Oh, yes, it did. It did. It run people the wrong way, where the next year, the following year, I did not get captain.
That's crazy.
And then junior and senior year, I got captain again. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the seniors and the parents did not understand why a freshman had to be captain, because of course they will announce it on the PA, like when we was about the game, number 17, freshman captain, and it was like, the freshman and captain. So it runs some people the wrong way. If God chooses you, He chooses you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that's an interesting piece. But so. In high school, right? I mean, people go through a great deal of experiences. You know, those are like the formative years. Does anything stand out to you?
I mean, high school. I mean, I would say I mean, it was a fun experience. Of course, you think about homecoming, the fun parts and stuff like that. But I would say one thing that comes to my mind that I remember that I would cherish is the African community, the bond that we had.
Yeah.
Because when I was in middle school, I remember when it came to recess, I was excited to go outside and play. Because it was recess time. Let's go play basketball. Let's go play soccer. But when it came to high school, I remember when it came to recess, we would just eat. And when we're done eating, we're still there at the table, just talking and laughing and cracking jokes. And like we had the older guys and the younger guys, and we're just having fun building connections. So it built me to be a better person, because the experiences that I experienced in those bonds is what the real world will show us. Because we were freshmen and sophomores dealing, talking, having conversations with older guys that were seniors and juniors. So I remember those moments. It was fun. Like when we got off to school in the morning, we went to go eat breakfast. You knew exactly which table you were going to sit at, and you knew the friend that you had and stuff like that. So it was good, and it was a great bond. So I would say that's something that really stands out to me, how we will always like be there at lunch, and when the bell rang, you're like sad, the conversation has to end, and then you have to go. So I'll say that's something that's a highlight that comes to mind.
That's dope, man. Because I remember when I came, I heard, like, there was Rap Commando.
Yeah, Rap Commando, Audentim, Derek.
Even Combined,
Combined came up there for a little bit. A lot of people have been through Northland High School.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people, Ernest, Kwache, all of them.
Look at this, yo, man. No wonder, man, you guys had like a good soccer team.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. So like, let's move on to college, bro. So I know typically, with high school, you go to the high school that's like within your district or, the place that you reside. But in college, you have some sort of leeway, right? Where you get to pick and choose what college you go to, what you want to study, if you get a scholarship, all that stuff. So what university or what college did you go to?
I ended up going to Wright State University, which is in Dayton, Ohio. It's about, I think, 2-hour drive or an hour and a half. I think it's around that time. But yeah, that's the university that I ended up going to my freshman year.
Interesting.
Freshman and sophomore year.
Freshman and sophomore year. So what were some of the factors that, maybe that contributed to you picking that school?
Initially, one of the factors was soccer. I wanted to go walk on there because I knew there were a Division I team, but not in the NCAA, but there was a Division I. So my goal was, all right, let me go to Wright State and try to walk on and try out and see what happens. It wasn't too far and it wasn't too close where my parents don't have to come in and bother me, you know what I'm saying, man? So I was excited where it was at. And then when I went to my college visit, I went to 2 college visits. I went to Central State to go visit, then I went to Wright State. But when I went to Wright State, what made me love Wright State was the fact that they had a tunnel where it connected all the buildings from your dorm all the way to your classes. So in the winter time, when it's raining, you're just going through the tunnels and going to classes where you don't get rained on. But other universities, you're still walking outside to different buildings. So that was something that I liked. And then I also liked the co-ed building, where it's like the room that we stayed in was more, we had more freedom in our dorms than other universities where you have to have a visitor sign in. They couldn't come in at a certain time. It was a floor. But Wright State, here's your key. Door is open. You come in, you come out whenever you want. You know what I'm saying, man? It was a floor of co-ed. It was a mixture. So you will have either a girl in the next room downstairs. So it was just so that's where the good experience was. So I definitely have enjoyed my college experience. I'm not gonna lie.
I like that, man. And speaking about college experiences, man, I heard at some point, man, I'm not sure if this is correct, man, but that at some point you were hosting parties, man, on campus, yo. You feel me? Like, how accurate is that, man?
Man, I would say that is a time in my life where I learned a lot, but I was a party promoter. And the party promoter started actually my senior year in high school, my graduation party. That's where the whole thing of me knowing that, hold up, like I could bring people together and have them party and dance, and I could make some money by also being there as well too.
Sir.
So my graduation party, there was a party happening downtown, which there was a celebrity coming, but everybody ended up coming to my graduation party, which I collaborated with some of my classmates, Sinkina, Ebe. I remember putting them on the flyer. I remember it was during our last recess, and I went to a computer room and I typed up a little paper like party here. I put Sinkina's name, Ibe's name, all the Ghanaian seniors, and I said this is where the party's gonna be at. So I started passing it out to people. So you know how when you watch the show My Sweet 16,
yeah,
everybody's trying to get an invitation.
Yes, sir.
So it became one of those things where it's like, yo, are you going to this party? Are you going? And when that day came, like the party was capacity.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, wow, like I did not know like this was out there. So this organization that threw party called Fly Fortune, they used to throw all the parties and all the big clubs, brought in all the celebrities. They reached out to me and said, hey, we know that you're about to go to college and we do icebreakers. I didn't know what an icebreaker was. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm like, icebreaker. That's like, yeah, we do icebreakers.
Yeah.
Icebreakers are like the biggest party that when you go into college, the first party that everybody has and comes in and like will like for you to be on board and help out promote. So I was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And so I helped promote. And as soon as the party was over, they came to my dorm and gave me some money from the party. And I was like, what? I made this much money and all I did was just post a flyer with my name. I'm like, from today on.
Oh my goodness, man. You know, Africans, bro, man, we travel across this ocean, bro, to come here, man. So every time we see an opportunity like that,
oh man, once that came, I was like, what? So with that, I used my personality, and I think that's where I learned how to be charismatic, because if you're throwing a party and you're spending money on the DJ, on security, on the flyer, you want people to come. So when you walk into the lunchroom and you see 5 girls, 3 guys there, I'm not the shy person. I'm gonna go be like, hey, y'all coming to my party? Or I get you in free. I got you. Oh, you coming? So I had to be the person that's like, tell you where the party was at.
I feel you, man.
So I had it locked down for a minute at Wright State, you know what I'm saying, man? And it was great time, fun time, through a lot of parties.
Yo,
a lot of parties.
Wow, it almost sounds to me like these aren't the type of parties you go to for free, man.
No, not at all. These were not free parties. We were charging at the door. We were doing skip the line. Man. And with throwing different parties, you learn different strategies on how to like make more money. You know what I'm saying, man? By you hold the line for a little bit, you let people skip. They pay, you know, you make your ladies free all night sometimes, and then you charge the guys a whole lot because guys are thinking it's going to be ladies free. So even if you charge them $40 to get in, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So my goal was, how do I get as much money from your pocket while you're in line before you go to the bar? Because I wasn't getting none of the bar money because I wasn't a club owner or anything like that. So yeah, man, I made a decent amount of money at that time for a young person, but when we that young, we don't know about money management and saving and credit. We just know about you make some money, go buy some clothes. You can have money to go to the Waffle House and eat. And I'm saying trick a little bit. And I'm saying, you know how it is.
Man, I feel you, man. I feel you, bro. But yo, man, sounds like you had a freaking great time in college, yo.
Yeah, man, it was fun, man. Yeah, college was fun. I learned a lot. I met a lot of people. Even till today, whenever I go to Rice, I haven't been there a long time, but whenever I go, and if you're Ghanaian and you go to Rice and you be like, you're from Ghana, they be like, yo, you know Harrison? You know what I'm saying? He used to throw parties here. So at that time, I didn't know, because you're busy just throwing parties. You're not thinking about the impact that you're leaving, how people are going to remember you and your legacy. So the party image really has stained on me at that time, where it's like, that's all people knew me for. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, people would hit me up, like, yo, what you doing today? You going out? What's going on? Where the party at? So like, it became my national theme or whatever. So it took a lot of work for people to forget that I used to throw parties, that now I'm in a different space of film. But because sometimes when you change little hobbies and reputations, it's hard. People forget certain things. But at first, as soon as people see me, hey, where the party at?
Where the party
but
at,
now
man?
When they see me, civic engagement, community engagement now,
Yo, man, that's dope. That's dope, man. Like, speaking of parties and all that, man, it kind of even makes me forget to ask you what you studied, man, because like it seemed to me like that was not even a focus for you when you went to college, yo. What did you study, man?
I mean, when I went to college, I went there unknown. A lot of high schoolers, when they're going into college, they don't really know what they're gonna do. You just want to get into college because you know that if you're not in college, your parents are gonna think so. You don't know what's going on. So
African parents,
you know what I'm saying,
they might even kick you out the house.
You know what I'm saying? So you just know that I gotta go into college. So when they ask me, you could be like, oh, I'm in school.
Yes, sir.
So once I got to college and I started to throw parties and I knew about like money and renting out buildings and stuff like that. As a black man, the first thing that came to mind was like, all right, I want to do business. You know what I'm saying, man? So So while I was there, I didn't get to finish and graduate at Wright State. You know what I'm saying? Of course, with the party overload.
Yeah,
you know how they say where you start is not where you finish,
you
but you still got to
yo.
finish. So that's where I started at first.
Okay.
I did business, but then later on now, I ended up getting my bachelor's in healthcare management at Franklin University. So that's how I ended up playing.
Oh man, that's dope, man. Yo, you have such an interesting story, man. With like Northland and then college, bro. It's like every freaking where you go, man, you're just like a magnet, man. Just like attracting all sorts of people, man, and bringing people together, yo.
It's God, man. I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. Like I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I feel that. Sometimes I forget. Like, you know, you just keep moving. Like you make an impact in somebody's life and you're on to the next project, but then you forget that people still remember. The impact that you made. And even when I went to Wright State, I ended up being the first African king there, homecoming king there.
Oh my goodness,
my freshman year.
So you just like, bro, every freaking place you go, man, you're just like a king, a queen, bro.
Yeah, man.
Bro, are you sure, man, you don't like originate from some sort of royalty, man, back in Ghana, man? You feel me?
Tell you're from Bunahafo.
For real? Yo, I'm from Bunahafo too, man.
Man.
Techimai, man. Wow, look at this, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
Yo, man, it's just that your story is interesting. It's dope, man. It's inspiring. And so you get your degree from Franklin and transitioning, you know, from college to the workforce and, you know, to career, man. How has that been like?
Man, it's been an amazing thing. I'm not going to lie. Like, life and personal things definitely shaped me.
Yeah.
Once I graduated and I got my degree in healthcare management, of course, the first thing is find a job in your field of study. So I got a job at Molina Healthcare, doing their community engagement. Okay. So once I started to work, of course, you learn and hear the word networking.
Yes, sir.
I didn't really know what the word networking was until I was done with college and I was working. I would hear people bringing it up, not knowing that while I was in college, I was networking when I was throwing parties and stuff like that.
Your whole life.
I have been networking, but I didn't know there was a term for it. I just thought it was, you know people, you're friends with people. So I was told about an organization called Urban League Young Professionals, which was with the Urban League, which was like a little young organization where young adults came together to network, do events. So once I went to that event, that's when I was like, hold up, like there's a lot more to just partying and chilling and stuff like that. There are things that you could do that is like could make an impact, and you don't have to have parents who are rich and successful or doctors, but you could be an immigrant and maybe not even have papers and still be able to make an impact when it comes to like civic and policy. So that's where it all started from, with the networking, and I was able to like build a lot of relationships with people, and like my knowledge within my own city that I thought I knew. I'm like, bro, I thought I knew Columbus, but I had no idea what was happening in Columbus.
Interesting, man. That's dope, man. So, you know, you say you started with at Molina.
Yes, Molina,
And then now you're working for the city.
Now I work for the city of Columbus. I work for all the council members as their legislative advisor in the community engagement department.
I feel like, bro, your whole life has been geared towards this road, man. You feel me? Because you know people know you. I mean, you stand out. It's like when you were coming, God knew, man. Like, let's set this guy apart, man.
Man, I'm humbled.
I'm proud, and everybody will recognize, oh, that's Harrison right there.
Man, I'm humbled, you know? I'm humbled.
But one thing that's been interesting to me lately is that, like, almost every community event within a Ghanaian community, and recently too, man, even in the Columbus area as a whole, man, like I see, like every time I look up on LinkedIn and Somalians are meeting in downtown, you know, for some sort of event or whatever, Harrison is in the midst of it, you know. When the governor or I mean, like, bro, you're always in the midst of every freaking thing that's going on in the city, man. Like, how do you find time, you know, to like really be involved, yo?
Nah, that's a good question, man, and I'm humbled by that. It all comes from service.
Okay.
When you're willing to serve. One thing that I've learned, that if you're willing to serve and help people and connect them to different things, whenever things happen, you're one of the first people that come to mind.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like I would say in Tree, and y'all me who said me kwakoye things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people hit me up and call me like, hey, such and such is coming. We need your advice. We need your expertise. Can you help us out? So when you've worked with different people and you've been able to be a blessing to them where they've seen the impact that you made,
yes, sir.
It lets them call you and for you to be on different boards. And then one battery that was in my bag that gave me that fire where I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going until everybody knows that we have Africans in Columbus and we should be respected. Is when I walked into certain rooms and I wouldn't see no Africans.
Wow.
And I wouldn't see no representations of us. And a lot of the Black Americans didn't know the difference between a lot of Africans. They thought that we were all the same.
Yes, sir.
They didn't know we had Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, people from Guinea. So they will look at us in one thing. So when the resources is being distributed, it's only going to one side.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, what can I do to make sure that we're also relevant, respected, and they know that we're here too?
Yeah.
So that came about as far as letting them know that, okay, we don't just have Independence Days, but we could also put it together festivals for you to know our culture and what we stand for. So since I've been working at the city, I've had the privilege of having many different political leaders come from different countries that come in, any partnership that they want to build with the city. I'm called in to be an advice and I go in and help out. So it's been a blessing. It's been a joy just to see people who felt like they wasn't represented now are able to get attention from the mayor or a governor or a state house representative. So the more I was learning and the more I was networking, I'm like, hold up. Like, we're not at the table. And if you're not at the table, that means that you're on the menu. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So I was like, okay, like if I go to a networking event, instead of wearing the suit, I'm gonna wear my African attire and let them know that I'm not just a Black person, but I'm from Ghana.
I like that, man.
So every conversation that I will have with people, my focus was Ghana, Africa. Focus was Africa, Africa. You know what I'm saying? So with that, and at first, I was one of the people that any room that I'm in, I'm Ghana all the way. But then I realized that the more I keep fighting for Ghana, we're not as strong by ourselves. Because the Ghanaian community here, let's say we're about like 30 to 35,000. Nigerians about 25 to 30,000. Sierra Leone, Guinea. The Somalis are about like 50,000. So if I just speak for me, it's only 35,000 of us. But if I'm able to bring all of us together, all West Africans, even just West Africans, we're over 200,000 people.
Wow.
So we're a big coalition when we come together. And sometimes the leaders or city government or even businesses sometimes don't know that we have these numbers here. So whenever they're marketing to us, they don't target our people because they don't know the numbers. So that right there just gave me an inspiration to keep going and network with other leaders from different communities. So it's been fun. Sometimes you do get burned out, you get tired. Everybody calls you, everybody seeks for you, but you got to find a way to like separate your time and know that, okay, this cause is not for today, but it's for the long run. And I know we're getting there. We're getting close.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's dope. It almost sounds to me like you've become, the certified voice, man, for the Africans,
I strive.
So how do you recharge, man, with all the activities that you're involved? Like re-energize yourself?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, we're told to take breaks all the time. Sometimes even while you're on break, you're still reading emails, sending text messages. Somebody wants you to connect them with this person because they're about to have a meeting. So I try to recharge by when I get home, watch YouTube videos.
I like that.
Watch some soccer game that I missed out on. Of course, social media entertains us sometimes now here and there. I try to travel here and there whenever I can, but getting a break definitely is needed because if you overwork, you're just causing harm to yourself. Even though you want to be a public service and help the people and the community. But if you don't take care of yourself, you will be burned out. And I've seen peers in my field get burned out that now they start to hate the job. And I don't want to get there where it's like, now that like we're marching, I'm just like, oh, I'm burned out, like my breath. So I always try to find ways, but whenever I see that there's a cause and there's a problem, that revives me, but I do try to relax as much as I can.
Then you did mention, man, that one of your ways of recharging, man, is watching YouTube, man. I hope you're subscribed to the channel, man.
Listen,
you feel me?
Listen, ASAP.
I like
ASAP,
that,
say
man.
less, say less.
And then recently too, man, when the former president, John Mahama, came to the States to deliver, one of his speeches at Ohio State, I saw you in a picture with him. You feel me? Like you had an audience, man, with this man of greatness, man, from our country. You feel me? Like, how does that get set up, man? Like I've mentioned before, bro, you're always in the midst of it, man. You're in the front of the battle, man. How do you set that stuff up and get to actually meet the man? I mean, how do you always get this, get this stuff settled?
Man, first of all, I was humbled to meet the former president of Ghana. Yeah. I had never met any Ghanaian president or anything like that, so it was definitely an honor to be in the room at the table with him to talk, for him to know my name. We personally talked. We talked about different visions that he has, what the city of Columbus have. But it all starts with trust. And I would say that I've had the privilege on welcoming many African leaders and different leaders in the city of Columbus, where when they come and they want to meet the leaders of Columbus, the first person that the leaders of Columbus say is, I gotta call Harrison. I gotta get Harrison. So I'm very humbled by that. So when he came, we met with Council Member Nick Bankston. Me, him, and his wife is Ghanaian, so we brought him on board. So managing all that. So when we went to that meeting to talk, I was like, wow, like I was like pinching myself, like, am I here at the table?
Yeah, am I dreaming?
Like with Mahama, and we're just having a regular conversation. But once you start to talk about issues and stuff like that, you realize that, hold up, we're all humans and we're all here to help out our people. So, but I was definitely humbled to be in that room for sure. Being in there with him, and also seeing the speech that he gave later on at the school. But prior to that, it was definitely impactful to sit down at the table. So I'll say just being at the right place at the right time, and people trusting you and knowing that you're doing the work for the people, but you're not really doing it for any selfish reason, because like I say, ain't no money in this.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you, bro. But I mean, all these events, right? And all the finding yourself, with these great men, that almost begs the question, does Harrison have a political aspiration? Do you have any political aspirations, man? Like, do you intend to be the governor of the state of Ohio? Do you have any intentions of going back to the motherland someday and running to actually change the narrative of Ghana, man? I mean, look at the way the previous leaders have absolutely, they've looted the country, man. You see the rough roads that people drive on, and import taxes on cars and all these is absolutely off the roof. And yet we don't see any of that finance, get into the economy, man, and actually revitalize the people, man, and help out with the economy and all that, man. So do you have any aspirations, man, to go back? I mean, could you imagine such a youngin', man? Like, I think that's what the youth is yearning for, man. You feel me? A personal vision, someone who can actually bring the people together, and in addition to that, actually use the forces, the powers, man, that we have on the continent, to build the country up, man. What do you have to say about that?
Man, that's a $1 billion question right there. A lot of people do seek and ask me, and I say this at this moment in my career. I'm serving behind the scenes. I'm learning the system. I'm seeing where the strength and the weaknesses are at. I'm seeing where the loopholes are at. I'm still building relationships with people who I know have the power and the influence to do things. Do I have inspiration to one day be an elected official? I always say it's by popular demand. If it's something that I believe that, okay, like I need to be in this position because there's a cause and I can make a change, I would definitely seek for that role, as far as making a difference. As far as Ghana is always going to be in our heart. We're always going to be motherlands and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
I will always, whatever position that I'm in, I will always strive to build a partnership or a relationship between either America and Ghana, or find a way to even go back to Ghana and be able to inspire or train whatever task committees that we're in as far as the Ghana government on its own. We're still young. I'm still in my 30s. Yes, sir. I know that by God's grace, in my 40s or 50s, depending on where life and career is, I'm gonna always be in civic engagement. I'm gonna always fight for the cause for our people. Yes, sir. By God's grace, I'm sure I'm gonna have children, and it's gonna probably give me a new vision to do something different and stuff like that. Man. But it's something that, my goal has always been here in Columbus to help somebody get elected and be behind the scenes so I could push somebody. Because sometimes, I mean, I like chilling and partying, you know what I'm saying, man? You don't want to be the one in the scene where it's like all the time on the news because of this and that. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be behind the scenes, but I have been hearing a lot of popular demand of people seeking and wanting me to like take position as far as running for office, anything like that. And I'm very humble by that. And I take it for granted. So I'll say when the right time comes, by God's grace, I wouldn't reject it if the opportunity presents itself and stuff like that.
You can never say never, man.
Yes.
And I like the position, the role that you're positioned now, because it seems to me as though now you're kind of learning, you're soaking up the knowledge, so that the opportunity presents itself.
I know the work.
You would know exactly what to do.
Yes.
That's
yes.
dope,
I'm
man.
on the field. I'm with the people, where the people is at. Because most of the time, I mean, my job is I'm the liaison between the people and elected official.
Man.
So when the people are angry, I go to the people and they explain to me why they're mad. And then I take that information to the elected official, like, this is why they're mad and this is what you need to do.
Interesting.
So being that liaison in between, of course, the people are gonna keep saying, like, we want you to be the leader. But at the same time, my whole is like, let me keep being the liaison.
Because that's a wise choice, till you really, become ready
for sure,
mentally and resource-wise and all the network opportunities as well. So did you go back for the year of return?
Yes, I went back for the year of return in 2019. I was one of the first pioneers. It had been started, the conversation had been there, but 2019 was when it really kicked off very major. And I had the privilege on even doing a TV interview on TV3 with,
I think I saw
with Berla Mundi.
I think I saw that, man.
With Berla Mundi. And the whole conversation was talking about how the Black diaspora needs to know more about Africa and how we need to channel that, connect with each other. Man. That's when the whole year of return started to come. And now Ghana, a plane ticket is like 4 times the price of what it was before the year of return. So I'm happy to see that there's attention in Ghana right now. But then the thing is, what are we doing with that attention, with the money that's coming in? Are we utilizing it correctly, or is it only the hotels and clubs and the taxi drivers that are making money when it comes to December? We should find a way to be able to distribute that and bring more attraction. And my goal, honestly, which I'm probably sharing now for the first time in public, whatever, is the focus has been on Accra. Everybody wants to be in Accra. And as I told you that I'm from the BE Bono Ahafo. So my goal is to, how do I take more funding or take more Western investors to come to the Bono Ahafo area? Either Techimai and Sunrai, because Techimai right now is one of the capitals of Bono East. So because one of the capitals, like, there needs to be more Western businesses, hotels, bank accounts. Like, there need to be more different businesses, establishments there. That is my goal when I do go to Ghana or anything like that, where if any investor here reaches out to me that they want to invest in the motherland, instead of me taking them to Accra, I'd rather reach out to one of the MPs or ministries or whatever in the Bono Ahafo to be like, I want to bring this Western businesses here. So those are some things that I would like to do.
Well, that's dope, man. And you spoke, briefly about inflated ticket price, man. Have you checked the land price as well since the year of return?
Listen, and it's sad because I mean they're just raising the prices based on like the popularity of the internet and what's going on. If somebody writes an article and says Ghana is the place to be, boom, 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 automatically person just adds 2,000 cities on top of the what the land was going to be, anything like that. So I mean, my whole thing is, as they're selling these prices for expensive, because right now there is also a problem where you'll have some developers who have bought a land, developed a whole bunch of units, and they can't sell the units because the money that they're gonna get of return is not matching, because people don't have that much money to be paying in those dollars amount for those units. So now, are we doing a disservice, or what are we doing, just buying land? So I mean, I don't know. I hope the Ghana government will find a way to like give us more lineage. Hopefully, us being Ghanaians, or if you're a Ghanaian or something like that, you'll get a little discount or something like that, because a lot of the foreigners, like I say all the time, if you're Ghanaian and you don't want to buy a plane ticket or a land, a person from Dubai will buy that ticket and that land. So
you can bet on it, man. You can bet on it, man. So I think one of the positive, things that came out of the year of return was the influx of the rappers. I mean, I think recently too, I saw Meek Mills in Ghana. He got his phone, in some situation. But notable African Americans that came to the motherland. So like you said, there's going to be a great deal of money coming in, flooding into the country, man. And, oh, man, I don't know if our leaders, man, are going to be using this money in a decent way, man, in a way that serves the people, right? And hence, I think I speak for a lot of the youngins, man, when I say that we need a leader, man, who can relate with the people, man. Exactly the kind of role that you're in right now, where you talk to the people, then you take the people's concerns and then communicate that to the leaders, right? Imagine if the leader had that connection, with the people directly, man. Like, you have any comments on that, man? Like, speak on it briefly, man. Let's see what Harrison has to say about something like that.
I mean, a lot of African Americans have come there to celebrities. There's a lady called Saint Bazoma. She started a festival called the Full Circle Festival. Okay. She's one of the main pioneers why a lot of African American celebrities ended up coming. She did one visit where she brought in, I think, like 100 movie directors, executives, people behind the scenes, and she brought them all to Ghana. And stuff like that to implement and to start something that she did. Just recently, Kamala Harris went to Ghana when she was doing her little visit. They gave a lot of money when it comes to women entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So there are many, many, many different things that you could see that the Western world wants to come in and help out because of the competition with Russia and China doing things like that. With the leaders right now, I would say we do need a new, refreshed, revived people as far as once this election of 2024 is done. I see more hope right now. Right now, I'm not wasting my energy or my eggs in 2024, but I'm like, how are we preparing ourselves for 2028?
Right.
And this is something that a lot of countries do. They anticipate 4 years in advance. But Ghana is like all our eggs and we're just focused on 2024, those leaders. I would say holding our leaders accountable. Right now, we're not in a, they don't have a system where they can hold leaders accountable like the way we hold them accountable here. If you say something here, your area commission is going to hold you accountable. Your district is going to hold you accountable. Your own mayor is going to hold you accountable. So Ghana, we have a system where it's like, you just do a little quick commercial. You just give a little, speak a little bit. So, I mean, I didn't grow up fully for a long time in Ghana to know like the system there, but you could see the impact that the leaders are having. A lot of people are disappointed. They feel like money that are coming in, they're not utilizing it the right way. I'm sure people could be like, oh, this road has been messed up for a minute, but then we hear all this money coming up. Even stories of some of the MPs us finding money,
literally stealing, man,
millions
of dollars
and stuff like that. So I mean, I would say that every nation, every country that has like elevated or went to like the max level started with the youth. It was youth like us who were fed up, who were tired. But then the thing that I tell the youth all the time is when you're tired and you're fed up, get involved. You know what I'm saying, man? What is affecting us right now is, and what benefits that our old ancestors had, meaning in the 50s and the 60s, when you look at the Black Americans, when they were going through segregation, for them to fight through, because Black Americans have been through a lot. But what they did that we don't have an advantage is social media. We think in social media is positive, it's helping us out, or people get to hear about the issue, and back then they didn't have it. But back then, if somebody didn't tweet, oh, Ghana, we need help, they actually put on their shoes, put on their clothes, with a sign, or went to a meeting, stood in line, and spoke up, and let them feel what they felt. Now, people don't let you feel what they feel. They just type it. They just text it, and that's it. Or they'll read a comment of somebody criticizing somebody and just like it. And them liking it, they think that they're helping the cause, but no. So those are the advantages and disadvantages that sometimes our generation are having, because out of all the generations that has happened for the black community, we're the only generation that we've gone backwards, where we haven't gotten nothing. Every 10 years, we get a little bit something. Oh, now black people, you could vote.
Yeah.
Or now black people, you could do this.
Yes,
like we get something.
Yeah.
They give us a little something.
Incremental progress.
You know what I'm saying? But now, we're going backwards. They're trying to take away voting rights away from us. They're trying to even control a woman's body, who could give birth or who can't give birth. And of course, there's agendas behind the scenes trying to control either the black population or the immigrant population. So there's many different things behind. So all I'll say is, as a young person, if you see these issues, if you have a burning desire in your heart that, things are not right, I want to do something, I want to be implement, get involved. Start an own little organization. I tell people all the time, if CNN is not going to come to you, create your own CNN.
Yes,
like what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You're part of the solution. You're part of the work. We're having these conversations. People are going to listen to what we just talked about. So if you're just hear the problem, but you're just, you know what I'm saying, of course, we have the Ghana marching, the Fix the Country folks and stuff like that. There's more that we could do. So that's what I'll say. But I know that 45% of the leaders that we have now, they're all in their 60s and 70s. Within 5 to 10 years, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a new leadership coming in. But my fear is these young people that are going to be coming in, did we prepare them enough, or are they just going to copy and paste what the other people did?
I like your input, man. And man, it seems like Africa, right? You come to the States, all the countries that has really advanced. There's a great deal of the government, playing its role, and then individuals also playing their role. You look at America, a great number of the companies like Google, Amazon, all these are private entities, right? I mean, companies that were started by citizens, right? So in Africa as well, I mean, I think I want to see something like that where the government does its part in fermenting either the people's, maybe it could be mental, right? It could be mental. It could also be economic opportunities that manifest in a way that the people can maybe actually take advantage of in building private companies and all this other stuff, right? Recently, I think I saw Idris Elba starting a cinema or something.
He's trying to build a cinema where there will be like a little Hollywood there where they could shoot movies in Africa, and I think he wants Ghana to be the base.
I want to see more of that, man. You feel me? But it seems that now only diasporans, right, who have that sort of capital can go back and do that kind of stuff. Imagine a world where not only the diasporans, can go back and do that, but the country, the people in there. I think it's a great deal of it is mental. It's one of the Kennedy brothers said that most people see things that are the problems around them and complain. Right, but I see things that never were and ask why not. Right, imagine having and harboring that kind of mentality, man, because I think a lot of the great deal of it, the country has vast resources, man, and that every pothole you see is an opportunity, to do something, to provide a solution or something or that and that, man. So I would really, really want to see a leader that can inspire the people, man, and really garner, or galvanize the energy and the resources and the might of the country and to do something of that nature. But let's actually, branch off of that, right? And let me talk to you about, so you're quite involved at your church, right? SDA, I mean, since being in the States, man, your whole life, I think you've been involved. And more recently, too, I think I was watching a IG and saw that you were preaching, man. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Yo, man, you've had a full circle, man, from high school, man, prom king, homecoming king, going to college, being the promoter, man, you feel me? And then now, preaching, man. I'm like, my goodness. Yo, talk to me about that, bro. How was that experience, man, standing at the pulpit and actually preaching to the people, yo?
Man, well, I get the chance to do a lot of speaking engagements and public speaking. I've been to different universities to speak, to encourage them about the importance of voting. Or even at OSU, I went to their African night before where I encouraged them about the importance of unity within the Black with them as students, like making sure that, hey, you guys may be from different parts of Africa, but be united and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to public speaking, I've had the experience, but when it comes to the pulpit at church, I'm always nervous, man.
For real?
Is one place where you have to be naked in front of God.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you got to come up there and be 100 and be real.
Right.
They used to ask me to come and speak, and I always used to deny because I'm like, I know how I'm living.
Yeah.
I don't want to come up there. I don't want to call it. And I remember a lady telling me, like, Harrison, if God calls you to come and speak on something and do something, never say no to God. Maybe that's how God is going to use you to even have you get closer to him.
Yeah.
So I realized that whenever I'm asked to speak on specific topics or anything like that, those 3-4 days as I'm researching and preparing, I see myself learning and getting to know God even more.
Wow.
So every time that I do it, I always tell them the Bible verse about not everybody should seek to be a teacher, because if you seek to be a teacher, your punishment will be more stricter because you'll be an example. So I always say that and tell them that I'm not here for selfish reason. I'm just here trying to be a vessel for God to use me, for me to speak to somebody. But it definitely is a blessing. It's very humbling. Every time I get to do it, I try to do it with ease and things like that. But it's something that whenever they come asking me to do it, like I'm like, I don't want to do it. But then it's like, once I do it, I see the impact that it had with, I was able to share either a personal story of mine or be able to tell them how good God has been for me in my life. So yeah, man. So that preach part, I mean, of course, people gonna start thinking, oh, you should be a pastor, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, just because I could preach, that doesn't mean I have the skills to be a pastor. You know what I'm saying, man? So I'm just a public speaker.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And I like that interesting, background you gave about, some woman telling you that when you get called to do something or to preach, right, instead of declining it, maybe God is using that very opportunity to transform your life.
That's true.
That's dope. That's dope, man. I guess the other thing that I want to ask you is, what is your understanding of God, right? If you've spoken at the pulpit, you must have at some point formulated, an idea of God. So who is God to you? Who is God to Harrison?
Man, that's a good question, man.
Yeah.
I mean, God to me is my personal friend, my personal redeemer, my personal. Okay. Anything, my knowledge, anything that I know, my conscience, anything that I regret, I think. So God is basically, to me, is Jesus, the personal relationship that I have with him.
Okay.
My understanding. Any good or anything that I go through, whatever, I rely on God.
Okay.
So I do believe in prayers. I do believe in doing people right and stuff like that. But God to me is that. So I mean, that's what I was raised in. I've had the chance to also do my own research and my personal understanding. I used to have debates and discussions with Muslim faith and stuff like that. When I went to Columbus State, I took all religion classes and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
So I got to understand different religions and stuff, and the one that brings me peace and strength, because I look at God like this, in a way, for whatever God, anything that's gonna, if I get nervous or I'm scared or my heart is beating and a human being cannot calm me down, who else could calm me down?
Yes, sir.
Is God. So the faith, the hope that I have in that is what really calms me down ease. So man, I'm a big time Jesus supporter, big time shouter, and I try to praise him as much as I can. So
I like that, man. I like that, bro. But I was reading statistics that was saying that a lot of religion derives from parents, right? So for instance, if my parents are Christians, then the likelihood of me becoming a Christian is high, right?
Yes.
And that can be said for Muslims,
for sure,
for atheists. I've been yearning to ask this question actually, right? Because from the Muslim perspective, he or she believes that the Islam, is the right religion. I'm pretty sure that somebody who's also a Hindu or is also thinking or knowing that is the correct religion, right? How does one know? How does Harrison know? Because I mean, even with the parents aside, I'm assuming that at some point you've also done your research, well enough to know that, hey, maybe I've tested the waters, I've tried to be an atheist, or talk to a great number of atheists to get a perspective of what's going on. So, how does Harrison know that
Jesus
is the way? Because Christianity says Jesus is the only way, right? How? Where does that confidence, come from? Besides reading the Bible, where it says that, I am the way, the truth, and besides that, how do you know?
I mean, the confidence that come in, and every time something happens, I get more confident. Like, yes, it's him. Okay. Yes, it's him. Number one, all those other faiths that you named acknowledge that Jesus Christ was real.
Okay.
That number one.
Okay.
Number two, you could find where they buried most of the founding fathers of those religions. Like, this is where they buried him. This is where they buried him. Jesus is the only one that his body's not here. As far as, and those faiths believe that.
Okay.
What I tell people all the time is there's going to be 3 surprises when we get to heaven. Surprise of somebody that you thought was going to be there is not there. Okay. Somebody that you didn't think was going to be there is there. And you yourself, that you're there. That's going to be a surprise. I tell people all the time this whenever I have discussions with Muslims and different faiths and stuff like that about will you go to heaven? Will I be the only one to go to heaven? Like, how is the thing like, we shall see. I tell this to Muslims all the time. If you are following what you've been taught as a child, whatever your 10 commandments are in your faith, be nice, be kind, pray 7 times a day, and you are generally following that with your heart, me personally, I feel like I will see you in the kingdom of heaven because you're following the knowledge that you know.
Okay.
Me as a Christian, if I'm following my faith, but the reason why, like I would say, I believe Jesus or Christianity is the way is because, of course, I could use personal examples as far as I have my own personal testimonies that I've had. I've seen the comparison of different things as far as when people talk about the head of their faith leaders. And the one thing that makes Jesus so unique that even Muslims, when they talk about Muhammad, that they don't understand about Jesus, like, no, he's not the Messiah, is his humility.
Okay.
The humility part is what they don't understand, meaning that, imagine me, my father is the president, I'm looking good, but then when I come down, I try to act like I'm the server, anything like that. In the Muslim world, it's like, no, if you're the OG, you're the OG forever. There's no you humbling yourself. There's no, I'm about to die for their sins. No, you didn't do it, so why should you? So that understanding of God, of Jesus's humility, is what me personally makes me be like, you know what? This is the faith that I believe or think that it is the way or the path as far as Jesus Christ. His humility is what really draws me. When it comes to other religions, stuff like that, I tell, like, believe what you believe in, which is fine. But if you believe what you believe in, but you're not 100% in that faith that you believe in, but then you want to criticize Christianity, then you're doing a disservice to your own self. So if I'm a Muslim or I'm a Hindu, and the Hindu tells me that every Thursday I need to do this, but I'm not doing what the Hindu people are telling me, but then I'm here to tell Christian, like, yo, you guys are not, and then my guy.
I feel you, man. But I mean, many people also say, isn't Christianity a bit strict? Because it does say in the Bible that, Jesus is the only way. And the only way to actually make it there is not by our own righteousness, right? But by proclaiming that Jesus is indeed the Son of God and accept him as your personal savior, right? If that's the case, then can somebody be a Muslim, follow the creed and the principles of Islam and still make it to heaven?
When to my understanding, when we say Jesus is the only way, meaning that the cross was the only way for us to be redeemed.
Okay.
That was the only way that our sins would have ever been forgiven.
Right.
Even sins that we haven't even committed yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Will be forgiven because of Jesus.
Yes.
So if a Muslim or somebody like that, just because they don't say it out of their mouth, Jesus, you are the way, blah, blah, blah. But let's say in their heart, in their mind, they're praying to Muhammad like, oh, I've sinned, I've done this. But I mean, not even just saying them, whatever, stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not, because the Bible does say that there are some people that they don't really know what's going on. And then there's some people that really know what's going on. Like the truth has been shown to you or you've heard about it.
Right.
And some people don't know about it. So, I mean, it's a very touchy subject, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, everybody wants to, you know what I'm saying, be the remnant church. Even within the Christian church, there's many different denominations.
Yes, sir. Yes,
there's many different things. So me, I just be like, man, whatever finds you peace and you could be good, you know what I'm saying, stick with that.
I like that, man. I like that. And I also like the humility story that you brought up about Jesus and all the, in comparison or even contrast to the various other religions, right? I think it's interesting, right? Because when you look at all the other religions, they have a set of principles where if you follow these principles, you get to go to, say,
this level,
you feel me, like Nirvana, wherever that may be, their heaven, wherever, that could be. It's only the Christian faith that says that no amount from your part, right, from the subject's part, is going to be sufficient to land you in heaven, right, or utopia, wherever that may be. And in this case, and it's such a drastic contrast because you get the God descending to the level of mortals, right? To live the life that the subjects live, to understand their mindset, to understand their struggles, to subject yourself to that, right? Imagine a God. I mean, look at all the other faiths that we have, all the other religions. Which one of them do you see the God of that religion descending to the level of the subjects and really going through dirt, to the point of actually being killed, just to understand exactly what is going on, right? I think that is one of the incredible contrasts that makes Christianity stands out, where you have a God
that's true.
I wouldn't say relinquishing, but putting his role aside,
his throne,
to come down to the level of mortals, even to the pain of death, to understand the struggles that the subjects, have to undergo, right? And in so doing, forgive every sin because he himself has been subjected to the struggles, man.
That's true.
That's crazy, bro. But yeah, I think that is also an interesting thing that whenever I look at Christianity and compare it, to other religions, that stands out to me. Another thing I wanted to bring up is this. Recently, I saw that the city was talking about, well, you let the promotion of the city, I think, if you wanted to be a vendor to the city and all that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, man. But I mean, I would like to get a lowdown as to, how to become a vendor to the city, right? How does that work?
I mean, it depends on what business you have. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you have to have the regular things, a tax ID, the number, make sure your business is registered right. And there's a simple website that they have with in the Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Yes, sir.
Which you go on, you click it, and then there's a whole bunch of lists of different things that different other vendors who are there. So it's not a very long process at all, or anything like that. Most of the time, before somebody decides to be a vendor, is like they kind of know that the city's about to ask them to for their service or something like that. So in order for the city to pay you, you got to be a vendor because they can't pay you or give you any check if you're not a vendor.
For sure.
So one of the ways that you could go on and click to become a vendor. So we had the Department of Finance also come up there to talk about what are some of the pros and cons that could happen. Of course, one of the pros is if you do become a vendor with the city, you'll have a good reputation where you could be able to do different things in different rooms. So it was a very interesting meeting. A lot of questions came up where they were the answer to the question were we're gonna think about it and come back on it. Because some of the questions were if you have a green card and you have a business and you're not an American citizen, can you be a vendor with the city? Can the city do business with you if you don't have a green card? I mean, if you don't have a citizenship and stuff like that. So these were questions that were thrown in, people talked about and things like that.
And then, as we get ready to wrap this up, I got two more questions.
No problem.
Maybe not even a question, but So today's Thanksgiving, man, right? So I guess the main question is, what is Harrison thankful for, man, on this beautiful day, man? You see the sun out, man. This whole week we haven't even seen the sun, and then this very day, man, for this interview, we see the sun out, man, and everything, man. So what are you thankful for this year, man, 2023, as we get ready to wrap it up?
Man, I mean, I could say the generic stuff like I'm thankful for life and stuff like that, but I would say I'm thankful for my fiance.
I like that.
Yeah, man, I'm thankful for my fiance. This year, we went through a lot as far as like from going through like the knocking, the traditional knocking, where our parents would do the knocking, me proposing,
yes, sir,
and us basically planning our future and our life and like anticipating what things would be. So I'll say I'm thankful for her, for even how much she's been an impact in my life now and helped me be the better version of myself. I used to think, but when a woman is in your life, man, Charlie, you see things clear.
Yes, sir.
You see things clear. So yeah, man, I say I'm thankful for my fiance Sheila, man.
Yo, that's dope, man. That's dope, man. Sheila, man, wherever you are, man, you done caught yourself, you know, a good one, dog. You feel me? But yeah, that was actually gonna be my next thing. That, you know, I saw that recently you were engaged. Congratulations on that,
appreciate
man.
it.
You feel me? I know
man,
it's been a long road, man, and for somebody, you know, to really be thinking about settling down, you know, I think that's a beautiful thing, man.
For sure,
so
man.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
bro.
Man.
And again, man, thank you so much for making it,
sir.
Bro. You know, we've been trying to set this up for a minute.
I know, it's been man.
And then finally, man, on Thanksgiving Day, bro, we get this popping.
We made it happen.
Man, I'm thankful, bro, man. I can't even say thank you.
Oh, nah. You already know, man. It's all love, brother, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
Be the voice, man, for this, you know, for this times, for the people of Africa, man. And I can't wait to see what you do, man, in the coming years.
I appreciate you, man. I'm humble. You too, man. I'm proud of what you're doing too. Using your voice, using your platform, interviewing many different people on different topics, and asking the right questions. So I hope one day this interview and the more interviews that you have, you know what I'm saying, you'll get over hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Amen to that, man.
You know what I'm saying, man? More views and more topics. So congratulations to you too, my brother, man.
Yeah, have a good one, bro.
All right, man.
Hey, you too, man. That's a wrap, bro.
Check it. That's right.
Yes, sir.